Wake up, rise and shine. It's a brand new day with Mona News. It's time to have your say. She's got the scoop, the stories, all the latest trends. Mo's got the news, let's hear it. My dear friends, from politics to showbiz, no story's too small. Mo covers it all. She's got the inside call, her voice so smooth, like honey in the summer sun. With Mo on the mic, you know the news is always fun. Mornings with Mo, the best newsy news in the world. With her style so classic and her stories unfurled, from morning till night, she's got us in the know. Turn on your radio, let Mo's newsy news flow.
Good morning, everyone. We're starting off this morning a little bit different. We are going to do some public service announcements just for people. Welcome, Jeff Montgomery and, Wolfram. And, we are right. We all survived Friday the 13th. So that is good. Thank you, Wolfram, for doing all of your Modly Mod stuff. Good morning, Christine and Heidi. I am glad you are back. Farm Sim, good morning. And Tammy, Colorado Mountain Girl, Nanny Goat, Jedi Jess, Alice G, and everyone, good morning. I hope you are all doing well. Roland, Arthur, and Audio Coffee, good morning. Now, I do have a couple public service announcements. And first, to the basement-dwelling, work-phobic person who stole my medication off my front porch, I've been praying for you. Don't get too excited. Now, being the world's worst Christian, this is what I have prayed for. I pray that every time your mother makes you chicken nuggets, they're not name brand. I pray that every time she makes your nugs for your basement dwelling, you run out of ketchup. I pray that every time you are in traffic, you suddenly start prairie dogging and a shark becomes, well, something more serious. I hope that you get stuck in the express lane behind the one octogenarian that still uses coupons and checks and wants to write them out, doesn't trust computers. I pray that every time you have a smexy thought, nothing works. Or it works for 5 hours and you have to go to the ER. So there you go. Again, world's worst Christian over here praying for someone to shart their pants, but maybe that's why you shouldn't steal people's packages. And make Mo talk to 18 different customer service people. So probably not the best prayers for redemption and such, but I really do hope the best for you. Anywho, so let's get into real news. I just thought I'd put a public service announcement up there for everyone. Oh, one other person, I just want to remind you guys, your continued scorn for John Hopkins. Yes, I will be making a police report today. I've been mid-flare this entire weekend, so I've been only semi-functional. Which reminds me, Coffin Digger and J. Hatch Hospital, you all still suck really bad. Coffin Digger, especially you, because you went and trolled through a young girl's, Instagram to make sure that she didn't do anything fun because she has chronic pain. Like, seriously. You're daggone near 60 years old. Pick on someone your own age. Anywho, now that I've gotten through the rage portion of this morning's telecast, and yes, Jeff Montgomery, I am praying that the police find them, but seeing as how I don't have Ring doorbell stuff yet, I don't know that it will be good, but I will be filing a police report in so much as whatever that does. But I did think, now, if anyone would like to invest in my future upcoming business where I send out packages, bait packages full of cat litter and a bunch of those, Happy Meal toys I'm trying to get rid of my house, basically broken stuff from my house, I will send you my crap in order to bait people to steal packages out of your house. I mean, I think I have a market opportunity because I can't figure out how to rig up a glitter bomb. Anywho, we have some sad news this morning. Tito Jackson, the brother of Michael Jackson and the co-founder of the Jackson 5, I'll have to check with them. Apparently our neighborhood is being targeted because, now y'all listen, we lucked out and got a really nice fixer-upper in a very nice neighborhood. We do not have the money that people assume we do because we bought a fixer-upper. Thank you, Christine, for being a member of the Church of Mo, and absolutely Audio Coffee. I am getting on that. I have one in my Amazon cart, so that will be there soon, very soon. But let's get on to, rest in peace, Tito Jackson. I'm sorry, barely anyone remembers you, allegedly. Tito Jackson, who rose to fame alongside his brother and the Jackson 5, has passed away, according to reports. He was 70 years old. The first news was reported by Entertainment Today with Steve Manning, a longtime Jackson family friend and former Jackson family manager, telling the outlet he died Sunday. Tito's nephew, Siggy Jackson, confirmed his death to People. With siblings Jackie, Jermaine, Marlon, and Michael Jackson, Tito became a Motown hit as one-fifth of the Jackson 5, later the Jacksons. The group's 4 consecutive Billboard Top 100 hits, number ones, were I Want You Back, ABC, Love You Save, I'll Be There, and were part of the foundation of what became known as Jackson Mania, as the brothers crooned and danced their way into the hearts of America under stiff management from their father, Joe Jackson. US Today reached out to the Jacksons for comments. Jackson was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as part of the Jackson 5 in 1997 and earned 3 Grammy nominations throughout his career as part of a group for Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group and Best Contemporary Vocal Performance by a Duo or Group. The group released 16 studio albums, 10 as the Jackson 5 and 6 as the Jacksons, becoming a household name as a unit and individuals. The Jacksons became a national sensation and seminal boy band with chart-topping and cultural success all around the country. Jackson also embarked on his own solo career, releasing albums Tito Time in 2016 and Under Your Spell in 2021. He released new music as recently as last year, joining forces with a Brazilian singer, Natalia Damini, for their song Attitude and its accompanying musical video. He was born and raised in Gary, Indiana. Jackson was the third of 10 children in the family, including his brothers and bandmates, as well as Randy, Rebby, Latoya, Falula, Tika, and Janet Jackson. I have a couple of questions. So you have Michael, Tito, Robbie, Rebby, and then you went Falula. Look, maybe the laughing gas was strong on that delivery. Unless it's a family name, then I'm sorry I mocked it. Now, parents Joe and Catherine moved into a 672 square foot home with 2 bedrooms in January 1950 on Jackson Street, which served as the name for the Jacksons' 1989 album and its single. As success declined for the band of brothers, they ventured into solo careers, with Jermaine and Michael Jackson finding their own paths outside the group. Michael Jackson, of course, became one of the most successful figures in music, crowned the king of pop, and unfortunately, he passed away in June 25th, or in 2009 on June 25th. Rest in peace, Mr. Jackson. I know that you dealt with probably living in the shadow of your brother, and it looks like you passed away surrounded by your family. And, we can't ask for more than that. No matter how rich and famous we are, I think all of us just want to be surrounded by the people that love us when our time is there. Great success, I have no idea. So I am sorry about my joke about you being not as popular as Michael Jackson, even though it is the truth. It's really not nice to say. So I hope you know, you were surrounded by family and friends. Now to the big news that we can't avoid. You guys know that I generally don't bring politics in unless, of course, it is a breaking and kind of important news story that you're going to hear elsewhere. And of course, obviously, this is news. The alleged would-be Trump assassin, Ryan Routh, 58, of Hawaii, echoed Harris and Biden's anti-Trump rhetoric as he backed Democratic candidates. So, too long didn't read on this. Obviously, this person seems deranged. I don't want to give him the time of day. And anyone who dresses like this should probably be on a watch list somewhere. Although I do like his bicolored hair. I mean, hey, do what you're going to do with your hair, but possibly don't dress yourself as a full American flag unless you are, of course, at 4th of July and you want to make people want hot dogs. I mean, I think the scary thing about this gentleman is that he is normal enough to blend in. He doesn't have, the sort of Manson lamps all the time. He doesn't have, the general Antifa look all the time. So if you just see him, he is unnoticeable and able to blend in almost anywhere. And I am trying not to be a pessimist. I am trying to be an optimist and no black pill zone. But I think we are in for another 3 weeks of Senate hearings where nothing gets done. Well, until they speak. But I mean, you don't have to speak to aim a long style force multiplier, if you catch my drift. Now, I think that there are going to be inevitably more questions and more. I mean, ooh, I like Diet Busey. I think Diet Busey wins. We are calling him Busey Light from now on. The Secret Service did sort of do its job, but how was he able to get close enough to basically make a sniper's nest in, on the property of Mar-a-Lago? So he did an interview with Newsweek. It seems like, from what I've said or what I've seen, and you guys, I did not watch any news yesterday. It was all I could do to just try to pay attention to Sailor Moon. That's how bad yesterday was. On another aside, sorry, I know tangent engaged. I am now breaking down and looking at either walkers or slimmer wheelchairs that I can use on really bad days. Obviously, I'm going to have to pimp them out with Sailor Moon stickers and in the name of pain, I will punish you, or something to that effect on the backyard or on the back of it. But if any of you do have recommendations of good ones that are sturdy, that can go off road, I mean, I'm not planning to like hike Everest or anything, but I would like to be able to maybe go over lawns if I have to on bad days. So, well, I was looking at walkers that double as chair. I am finally willing to put my pride down and stop semi-crawling to places on bad days, which makes coffin diggers continued, aggression toward Maya so upsetting, because if you had a day where you are simply thinking, okay, my bathroom is 10 steps, I can make 10 steps. I can make 10 steps. I can do it. And you have to rest between each step. Then you can talk to me about CRPS being fake and that she shouldn't go to homecoming because she should always be in pain. It ticks me off. Awesome. I'm actually looking at one of those. I'm definitely gonna pimp it out, so be on the lookout for that video. Pimp my mobility device. It will be a new thing on MTV. Just wait for it. Well, other Jane's Addiction decided to choose violence, I guess. Frontman Perry Farrell punches guitarist Dave Navarro on stage, promptly ending the Boston concert. Did he punch Dave Navarro for looking a lot like discount Jason Momoa? Just asking for a friend. Thank you, Squid. I will. I figured I would ask the collective intelligence of chat because, sometimes those reviews on Amazon are not as, uh, she is just trying to win absolute douche of the year. I didn't want to say that she was in the running for Church of Mo douche of the year, but I have a list and she's on top. Ooh, did he say keep Carmen Electra's name out your mouth? Please tell me it was all over Carmen Electra, because I need that in my life just for what is this man wearing? He's wearing not only a poncho, but a sports jacket, a scarf. Is it that cold in Boston already? I am confused. Beantown band Brawl. Jane's Addiction frontman Perry Farrell punched guitarist Dave Navarro during an onstage outburst as several crew members dragged him off stage and abruptly ended the reunited band's Boston concert on Friday night. Farrell was performing Ocean Size when he started angrily grunting and telling the crowd at Leader Bank Pavilion, F you, before screaming into the microphone. Welcome, Zach. Farrell seemed agitated, then turned to Navarro on his right, where he again screamed and threw his shoulder into the unsuspecting guitarist. I was going to say maybe Dave Navarro would win, but I have bigger arms than both of them. Now, granted, there is some bingo wing on my arm. I am not going to lie to you guys. But I do think I have bigger biceps than both of them. Look, I am working to deflate and get some muscles and not so much fluffy on my arm. But even now, I think I could discus toss both of them a fair distance. Discus toss for douches. Could you imagine if the Olympics started that? I would watch that crap on pay-per-view. You have no idea. Now, I don't know what exactly caused the clash. The two rockers then confronted each other while Farrell inched closer to the face of Navarro, who calmly held him back with his right arm. Farrell then turned to throwing elbow jabs at the guitarist when multiple crewmates and bandmates, including the bassist Eric Avery, ran up to restrain the been caught stealing singer, telling him to stop. The lights lowered on the stage, but several punches were thrown as the hot-headed singer was escorted away from the crowd's view. The three remaining band members, Navarro, Avery, and the drummer, Stephen Perkins, went to the front of the stage where they gave a warm farewell to the crowd. Now, the only thing that would have made this better to me and more funny is if they had all started playing that song from the Titanic as best they could with their disparate instruments, where the band is staying there and they're like, well, it's been a pleasure singing with you guys, but we're going down with the boat. And they just started playing that song. Y'all, David Navarro, Avery, and Perkins, you missed a great opportunity to be epic S posters. But I can understand having to deal with a douche, probably not the first thing on your mind. Now, they at least gave, their fans a good farewell. Photographer Brian McKenzie, who was tasked with snapping the show for the venue, posted on X that the crowd believed the confrontation was a bit between the bandmates. Quote, Perry had a huge bottle of wine with him all evening. Navarro and Avery kept chatting with each other the whole show and seemed angrier than normal. I was there, an ex-user, Dina S. or ASKC1 said. The crowd was bemused, half pissed that the show ended early, half excited that we may have seen the last Jane's Addiction show ever. The band, Perry and Navarro, did not publicly comment on the incident as of Saturday morning. The band, which is in the midst of a North American tour, has had problems involving their singer during recent shows. While performing at the rooftop at Pier 17 in New York City on September 10th, Farrell told the crowd his vocals were not in great shape. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to be honest with you, something is wrong with my voice. I just can't get the notes out all of a sudden. Could it have been that bottle of wine? I mean, I know that I feel like I sing great with a bottle of wine, but maybe he has the opposite thing. Now, the next day, Avery took to Instagram to reach out to fans and hype them up for their second performance in Manhattan. Looking forward to getting another crack at the spectacular rooftop venue tonight. I'm optimistic we will be better. Jane's Addiction is scheduled to perform at the Hartford Healthcare Amphitheater in Bridgeport, Connecticut on September 15th. The Grammy-nominated band's 2024 tour marked the reunion of the four original members following Avery's return in 2022. Navarro, who had missed tours in 2022 and 2023 because of battling long COVID. Farrell admitted that he missed his guitarist during Navarro's absence. I wish I had my dear guitar player around. How do you find a guitar player to fill the shoes of Dave Navarro? We put out word to people that knew we loved, and Troy fit the bill, best of all the people that we considered. Well, maybe Troy is going to come back. Y'all, help me understand this. I don't get this. Gen Z millennial women celebrate themselves in success showers. Life is not just marriage and motherhood. This is called worshiping yourself. Look, be proud of your accomplishments. Be proud of them. But I will look in the camera and tell you honestly that all of my accomplishments mean nothing compared to being a good mom, compared to being a good wife, to being the partner that I hope to be, that I want to be for my husband. So celebrate your small accomplishments, but really, are you going to look back? Is someone going to say, you know what? She didn't have anyone around her when she passed away, but she got picked for management real soon. She was 24 when she hit upper management. You know, no, be proud of your accomplishments. Be proud of them. But there are levels of accomplishments. And why are we celebrating stuff that just would be normal? I don't get it. I don't understand all this self-interest. How about you celebrate going to help others? Because who knows? Morgan Prowse, a public relations executive in film, was on cloud nine after recently earning a huge promotion on the job. But there was no shower of praise for the go-getter Gothamite, so she gave herself one. All right, you guys, we have gone too far. This is just worshiping yourself. I don't care. Have a lunch brunch out with your friends, but I guarantee she Instagrammed this, Snapchat this, TikTok this, and wanted all the accolades. If you can't just deal, again, why are you worried about validations from someone else? Shouldn't you just worry about being proud of yourself? I don't get this. Here you go. I think these might be Gen Z, but oh my God, she had a speech and everything. Dear God. I had a success shower, Prowse, 28, a downtowner, told the Post. It's a party similar to a bridal shower or baby shower, but it celebrates the personal and professional successes that my friends and I have accomplished. Yay for you. I guess if you'd like to do this in a public park with people watching, okie dokie. The FET focused on female empowerment, seeing working women of the Big Apple and beyond being spotlighted for life achievements outside of marriage and motherhood. Uh, Not going to read that out loud, but probably. And while becoming a bride and a mommy are indeed worthwhile or noteworthy wins, they're certainly not the only gains that a gal has to gush over. You know what? This is what happens when children are raised with parents that got participation trophies. I would like to go back in time, show this article to the people that are like, everyone should get a trophy. And I'm like, I don't think you understand where this is going to go. And then I'm gonna bring them up to 2024 and they'll be like, oh hell, we're back to winners and losers, everyone. As fewer Gen Zs and millennials are prioritizing tying the knots or welcoming tots, owing to the dating pool, men wising up and realizing, look, you guys, I tried to watch whatever the podcast and it brought the inner Bronca out of me. I thought I was going to repeal the 19th there and then if I had the power. I could not. I could not. The Dynamo divas nationwide are instead hustling for big titles and paychecks. A recent Pew Research study found that young women earn as much or more than their male co-workers in 22 metropolitan cities across the country, including New York, Washington, D.C., and Los Angeles, per the U.S. Census Bureau data. Wait a minute, I thought y'all were telling me that you earn 75 cents on the dollar, which again, if that was true, then all companies would only hire women because economy and economics work. Now, still, they want their workplace triumphs warranted and celebrated because, of course, they do. Kelly Gerard, a married mom and astronaut for the Institute of Astronautical Sciences, said her career showers remedy that wrong. That's it. That's it. These women do not represent normal women. We are not those. These are not normal people. And maybe I'm self-deprecating to the point of being a terrible promoter, but I don't. Oh, I'm sorry you're not feeling good, Melanie. Hopefully today will get a little better and maybe some cold medicine will start working and you can get some rest and get back to feeling better. Nothing is worse than not feeling cruddy. So there you go. Women are celebrating themselves for a change. And what in the heck is going on here? Quote, serious missing pieces. Charges were dismissed against a man who allegedly tied up a family and stabbed the father to death. So you're telling me that yet another investigation was FUBAR from the beginning? Well, according to my middle child, I am a beautiful clown. Tim Swope, it's just hair. It's gonna grow out, it's gonna fade out. I'll pick another color. It'll probably still be red, and I have all the wigs. So it makes me feel good. It was the one thing I could do for me, and it's just hair. A judge on Monday dismissed charges against a Philadelphia man for allegedly murdering his erstwhile employer in a home invasion. According to the Buckstown Courier-Times, earlier in the hearing, prosecutor Christopher Rees reportedly withdrew the linked grape-related charges against the defendant, Thomas Delgado, 51, because DNA tests excluded him from being the man who SA'd the fiancé of the slain victim, Joseph Canzorano, 48. The two Two of the total 34 charges did remain, but those only concerned a 2006 black Lincoln Mark LT pickup truck that was stolen. Reese ended up withdrawing those charges as well. As far as the courts are concerned, authorities are back to square one trying to prove who broke into businessman Joseph Casaro's house and stabbed him to death. Quote, we do have some missing pieces here. Judge Regina Armitage reportedly said in court on Monday, serious missing pieces. Two men armed and masked broke into the house on the 300 block of Swartley Road in the Hilltown Township on January 18th, 2013. Authorities said they put the local businessman and his fiance and his 12-year-old son in zip ties, and one of them, allegedly Delgado, raped the fiance. The two attackers took force multipliers, jewelry, and money and fled in his pickup truck, so the deceased man's pickup truck. The woman managed to get out of her blindfold and zip ties. She and the boy escaped from the basement. Authorities, however, found Cesnaro in the garage. He was bound with zip ties and had been stabbed to death. Authorities arrested Delgado, who reportedly has a history of violent crimes, in January. He allegedly admitted to the investigators that he previously had done physical or manual labor for the decedent. DNA evidence linked him to the crime, however, ended up being tenuous at best. Authorities suggested that the rapist, described by the fiancé possibly as Hispanic, used a shirt to wipe himself after the essay, but the DNA did not match the defendant. Quote, the facts of the affidavit have been proven untrue, public defender Carolyn Christ reportedly say. We firmly believe Mr. Delgado is innocent of all charges. Hilltown detective Louis Bell reportedly testified Monday that prosecutors were waiting to confirm whether Delgado's DNA matched materials found on a mask located in the stolen truck, which had turned up abandoned in a Quakerstown shopping center. Another suspect in the crime was Asian, according to investigators. Surveillance video shows the suspects transferring the stolen items from the truck into a Nissan sedan at the parking center and fleeing the area. Again, prosecutors do not bring these cases until you have all the evidence, until you can make a solid case. This case, the Richard Allen case, the Samantha Wall case, I mean, do not bring these cases unless you have all the evidence you can back up. It is your burden of proof. I am not a lawyer. I should not be having to tell you how to do your job, but you brought a flimsy case that is now going to be used as reasonable doubt by any future defense attorney. So this man, again, continues to not get justice. In something that could happen to me, and the ancient jar smashed by a 4-year-old is back on display at an Israeli museum after repair. This is why I don't take my littles to nice museums that aren't children's museums ever. A rare Bronze Era jar was accidentally smashed by a 4-year-old visiting a museum and was put on display Wednesday after restoration experts were able to carefully piece the artifact together. Last month, a family from northern Israel was visiting the museum when their youngest son tipped over the jar, which smashed into many pieces. Alex Geller, the boy's father, said his son, the youngest of 3, is exceptionally curious, and the moment he heard the crash, he said, quote, please let that not be my child. A prayer that I have I have uttered many times. But seriously, y'all, there is a reason I don't take my wild feral boy children to Hobby Lobby, because that is a place that has many breakable things, and I don't need a panic attack. Okay? These are things as a parent, like, hey, your youngest, most feral has all the grabby fingers and can only, look at something while touching it. Because I have uttered, you look with your eyes, not your hands. Keep your hands off of stuff. If you know that, then these would be those times where you either A, carry that child, or B, don't take him to a museum with a lot of ancient artifacts that aren't secured behind glass. The jar had been on display at the Hecht Museum in Hafia for 35 years. It was one of the only containers of its size from that period still complete when it was discovered. The Bronze Age jar is one of many artifacts exhibited out in the open, part of the Hecht Museum vision of letting visitors explore history without glass barriers. Yeah, I'm gonna say that maybe you need to change your policy. Maybe don't put things that are breakable out, put like a rug or, something not breakable, a piece of petrified wood. I mean, don't take your for the love of all that is holy. If you understand and acknowledge that you have feral wild boy children, and I love my feral wild boy children, but I do not set up them up for failure. I do not. I don't take him to Hobby Lobby. I don't take him to like an exploratory art museum because I know that my sons would, wreck things. They wouldn't sit still. They wouldn't enjoy it. I'm just saying, maybe maybe you can't go to nice museums with your children. Uh, quote, I'm not going to get closure. Officer forced into retirement after cop unaliver leaves bullet fragments in his neck and murders his partner. Well, we got the lovely face tattoo and the prison neck tattoo. That lion was drawn by someone with only the vaguest idea of what a lion looks like. Did you use ChatGPT or the little image creator to make that? Because in that special. The man who shot and killed Chicago police officer Ella French, 29, during a traffic stop was sentenced Wednesday to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The defendant, Monte Morgan, 24, also received 50 years behind bars for permanently wounding French's partner, Carlos Yanez, and 7 years for unlawful use of a weapon, according to Chicago ABC affiliate WLS. The attack ended Carlos's career. He reportedly testified at trial to losing his right eye. Though he can walk now without help after initial paralysis, bullet fragments in his neck and shoulder were too dangerous to remove. Quote, I don't think it's justice, he said after sentencing on Wednesday, according to WLS. I'm not going to get closure. I'm affected for the rest of my life, end quote. Prosecutors said that official officers pulled over Morgan and his brother, Eric Morgan, during a traffic stop on August 7th, 2021. The defense maintained that Morgan did not intend to open fire, that the firearm instead went full Alec Baldwin mode when he tried to pull it down. Get Hannah Gutierrez in here. I think we can work this out. Now, prosecutors said that he fired multiple times and neither of the officers pulled out their weapons. Detective Joshua Blass also survived the incident. Quote, today justice was served as the court sentenced Amonte Morgan to life in prison for the brutal killing of Chicago police officer Ella French and the grievous injury of her partner, Officer Carlos Yanez Jr. In 2021, Cook County prosecutors said in a statement posted online, Officer French's commitment to serving our city with integrity and honor will never be forgotten. We stand with her family and friends and the entire Chicago Police Department as they continue to mourn her loss. We would be remiss not to laud Officer Yanez for his courage and resilience through this whole ordeal, which has been nothing short of inspiring. Today's sentence reinforces our unwavering dedication to seeking justice for all victims of violence and ensuring those that commit such horrendous crimes are held accountable. Morgan's brother, Eric Morgan, was sentenced last year to 7 years in prison after pleading guilty to aggravated unlawful use of a weapon, battery, and obstruction of justice in connection with French's death. A third man, Indiana resident Jamel Daines, received 2.5 years in prison for illegally purchasing the force multiplier that was used to kill French. Uh, I'll have to check on him. I will send him a message. He works so hard and does all of these streams, and I don't know when he sleeps, honestly, so he might just be taking a day off, but I will try to check and make sure everything is okay. Now, this is for my viewers with kiddos, or if you are a kiddo yourself, please, please, please don't car surf. It is dangerous, it is scary, and there are real life consequences if you get hurt. A high school dancer is in a coma after falling off from a moving vehicle during a car surfing incident in a Utah park. She's 15. I know you never think this is going to happen to you. When you're 15, you think, you're invincible, but please, please don't do stupid things. There is a golden rule beyond the golden rule in my house, and that is we are not going to the ER today. Don't do dumb surf. Yes, but he was a werewolf, so he had extra gripping power. Normal human, no. A 15-year-old dancer is in a coma after she fell off the top of a moving car in a Utah park as part of a dangerous online trend called car surfing, according to authorities and loved ones. Cypress High School sophomore Ava Broadhead is fighting for her life following her ill-fated attempt. I mean, this beautiful girl, and one dumb choice. One dumb choice. That is the danger of having, you know, not having that frontal cortex, not being able to understand the consequences, the very severe and maybe life-ending consequences of some of your dumb choices. Quote, the victim was on top of that car, and as that car was driving around, the victim fell off, and unfortunately, the pavement isn't forgiving, and the victim hit their head, Unified Police Sergeant Amy Race told Fox 13. The teen girl suffered a severe brain trauma, according to a GoFundMe account started to raise money for her and the family's medical expenses. Quote, before this accident, Ava was looking forward to performing with her dance team at homecoming football game and attending the homecoming dance with a beautiful white dress she had just picked out, a family friend wrote. Now, instead of those joyful experiences, she faces a long road to recovery where she'll need to relearn basic skills like walking, talking, and even the simplest tasks like tying her shoes. Ava's mother, Candace Broadhead, told Fox 13 her daughter required brain surgery that was life or death operation. Now, I am not a doctorologist, but it looks like what it had to do. Thank you, Dan Davis, for that super chat. And yeah, unfortunately, kids don't realize sometimes how dumb their choices are. And I can give so much more grace to a teenager, a 15-year-old, than I can with a 43-year-old, which is probably wrong. I should probably have grace for everyone, but I never claimed to be a good Christian. Thank you so much. But what looks like happened from the picture that I can see is that they removed part of her skull to relieve pressure. Yeah, tying shoes. I will confess, you guys, I don't have any shoes that tie anymore. I have been reduced to getting those shoes that you can slip into without hands because my mobility has reduced so much that it physically really hurts to try to get in a position to tie shoes. So it's not as, yeah. And I'm sure this happened before. This seems to be, I'm sure after Teen Wolf came out, there were a whole rash of these. But you would think that, no, I'm just being very honest in what I can and can't do. And it's more prideful to me. I I had to get over my pride and actually learn to adapt and work with things. That's why I asked for, walker slash, wheelchair advice, because I can continue to fight or I can, adapt and work around the things, get devices that help, and it's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of learning to work through things. So I am trying to change my ideas on that, which is not as easy as you would think. But I do have Sailor Moon stickers and Mod Podge, so now I have a new project. But seriously, tell your teens not to do this. I'm going to be talking to my teens. I I feel horrible for this family. Again, I know play stupid games, get stupid prizes, but at 15, you don't think those prizes are ever gonna come to you. So I hope that her family is there to support her through her long journey. I hope that, she is able to pull through and maybe can help other teens avoid what she had to go through. Well, it seems like this, judge could not lay off the sauce. Alleged wife unaliving judge blames cortisone cream and hand sanitizer for alcohol alert on ankle monitor. Let's see. Also, no, Sarah Boone would like to blame cortisone cream and hand sanitizer on her acting drunk. Welcome, Haley Mouse. A California judge accused in the murder of his wife could have his bail revoked after his ankle monitor detected potential alcohol in his system, which he reportedly blamed on treatment for a medical condition. Orange County Superior Court Judge Jeffrey Ferguson, 73, is free on $1 million bail with a requirement to wear a GPS monitor as he faces charges in the death of his wife, Cheryl Ferguson, 65, prosecutors have said. Now, at a court hearing this week, prosecutors informed Superior Court Judge Eleanor J. Hunter that Ferguson's ankle monitor alerted for alcohol detection twice on August 28th and 29th, once with a reading of 0.14%, nearly twice the legal limit for driving, according to Southern California News Group reporters Sean Emery and Tony Saavedra, reporting on courthouse hearing on Thursday in Los Angeles County. The defendant denied drinking, blaming a health condition that led to swelling of his legs. Now, I have swelling in my feet and it's never caused me to pop hot on a, breathalyzer, but maybe you have a like internal brewery system. There is auto brewery, and a very, very rare condition where your body actually ferments any sort of glucose in your system to alcohol. So it is really, really things. Ooh, I need to get some. Now, according to him, he had to deal with the swelling with cortisol cream and sanitizer. Now, I have dealt with swelling, and I don't remember my doctor ever telling me to wash myself with Purell, but maybe I have bad doctors, who knows? And that's how the ankle monitor came up with a false positive. But the judge did not buy the claim and upbraided the defendant, saying she would have hoped he would have admitted to being human and making a mistake, the news outlet reported. Hunter continued the matter until September 20th to allow time to receive hair sample tests and details about the ankle monitoring data. The series of events leading to the alleged murder began at dinner on the evening of August 3rd, 2023, when the couple started arguing at a restaurant. Ferguson mimicked pointing a force multiplier at her with his finger. I believe that's what we call premeditation. And maybe, oh, Jeffrey Montgomery, auto brewery can be diagnosed. This man simply needs to reapply and see if the detection pops again. Double the amount of sanitizer. Absolutely. And I only know about auto brewery, going to be real honest, because of it was either House or some of those rando clips of Grey's Anatomy. I've never watched Grey's Anatomy. You can go ahead and take my millennial card from me. I will give it away as I am a genlennial. I identify as Gen X. Now, at one point, Cheryl Ferguson referred to her husband's earlier hand gesture at the restaurant, uttering, quote, "Why don't you point a real force multiplier at me?" Ma'am, probably not best to wave a flag. Never mind. Just before the allegedly intoxicated Jeffrey Ferguson pulled out his Glock from his ankle holster and sent a freedom seed into her chest in front of their son in their Anaheim Hills home. Law and Crime previously reported citing a bail motion filing from Orange County District Attorney's Office. The son and father both called 911. Jeffrey Ferguson also allegedly texted his court clerk and bailiff to admit to the shooting, which they both thought was a joke. "I just lost it. I just shot my wife," Jeffrey Ferguson allegedly said in the text. According to court documents, "I won't be in tomorrow. I will be in custody. I'm so sorry." Believe that's a confession. Why? I mean, now when officers arrived, he was allegedly still wearing the empty ankle holster and, quote, asked patrol officers to send freedom seeds downwind from him, according to court documents. So he tried unaliving by cop. He slurred his words and smelled of alcohol. Well, I'm sure it was Purell. I mean, don't assume his inebriation. It's 2024. Damn it, it could be a medical condition. Searching his home, the police recovered the murder weapon, 47 other guns, over 26,000 rounds of ammunition, all the firearms he did legally own. A spent 40 caliber casing was recovered from the floor in front of the couch. Now, police body cam footage captured Ferguson making several obscenity-laced statements, including "F, what the F? Did I? Well, I guess I'm done for a while." At the police station, the defendant allegedly said, "What did I do? My son will hate me forever. Can I have my son come over and punch me in the face for what I did? I deserve it." This lawyer does not know to not talk to police officers, and everything can and will be used against you. Interesting that. Though I do agree with him, have the son, deliver some facial justice. I'm just saying. I think the judge has Mo's heart, in mind. Oh, I'm so sorry. It really does stink when you have a condition, you know your body, and doctors won't listen to you, or you have to advocate and go to different doctors. It really does suck. So I am sorry you had to go through that. Now, he was ordered in June 2024 to stand trial after a judge rejected his defense that he too had an Alec Baldwin moment. Quote, "He would never intend to hurt her," his attorney, Ed Wellborn, told KTTV, quote, "It was just a terribly tragic accident that occurred. The last thing he would try to do is hurt the love of his life." I'm going to say that not even Maury's lie detector test believes that one, but okie dokie. Now, in probably the funniest thing I have ever read in my entire life, and I had to share it with you guys. Prawn traffic plummeted during the presidential debate. Can you imagine that? Men, women, Zimzers of America went, the ever popular, narrative of stepmom, sister, or other family members stuck in a washing machine to see two people debate. Well, 3 against 1 people debate. Anywho, this is hilarious. Maybe there is hope for this world. Prawn traffic plummets during the presidential debate. These battleground states saw the biggest drop. So there you are, Kamala and Trump saving us from internet degeneracy. I say we get debates all the time. Traffic on several hubs plummeted Tuesday nights as former President Donald Trump faced off against Vice President Kamala Harris during their first and possibly only presidential debate. Many amorous Americans traded prawn for politics. less nakedness in politics, but still degenerate. Uh, with the highly anticipated showdown drawing a whopping 67 million viewers across 17 networks and a bunch on YouTube that they won't count. Streaming on hubs were down 14.8% on average across the country during the debate, dipping in each of the 50 states. Some battleground states, however, saw even more dramatic drops. Visited to X-rated websites tumbled 22.6% in Wisconsin, 18.2% in Pennsylvania, which are shaping up to be in states for the kids. I love that we saved everyone from the hub. Timestamps provided by Cornhub show streaming was above average levels before the debate and kicked off at 9 p.m. People were trying to get one last one in before the debate. People were like, we would just like to screw ourselves before these two yahoos screw us. I know it's a little crass, guys, and I know it's the morning show, but this is hilarious. However, some pent-up viewers didn't have the stamina to sit through the entire event, and traffic began to pick up after the first commercial break at 10:06. It seems people had heard enough from the candidates and instead, well, wanted to make themselves happy for a bit. They wanted to pull a tube in. You guys, I saw that headline and I was like, no lies, must put that first. But I do have a policy of putting any deaths or that kind of thing first. So, I had to wait till the end. Well, I didn't do this during jury duty, but I kind of wish I had. Jurors helped detain a man who flees a Maine courthouse in handcuffs. Jurors are like, hell no, I'm getting paid $3.50. I will judge you. I will punish you in the name of justice. Sailor juror member. This was in Shawinigan. I probably butchered that name, Maine. A man convicted of assaulting a child tried to flee the courthouse in Maine, but two jurors and a detective quickly foiled the escape attempt. Nicholas Carter, 31, on Wednesday ran out of the courthouse while handcuffed. He had been found guilty of aggravated assault against a 14-month-old child. Yeah, I hope that allegedly and in Minecraft, maybe some elbows had to be thrown to subdue the captive. I'm just saying, if I were the judge, I'd be like, oh, you caught him. You got 5 minutes. This is why I'm not a judge, because I'm in full smite mode, like my Jesus flip tables. So, and you messed with a 14-year-old, you were adjudicated guilty. So, Gen Pop justice allegedly in Minecraft. A series of videos shows Carter racing down the hall. Does this actually show it? Let's see here. Oh, no, I am waiting for flying tackle. Where is Deborah Redding when you need him? I need that man to be, a fast side tackle. And he's using the handy-capable door. What a douche. If I had my car, I would have gone full Tawanda. I'm just saying. I would have helped the police. I am a citizen that helps. Okay, flying tackle. Anyone flying tackle. Come on. Get it on film. Oh, he tripped himself. Oh, that's going to hurt. That's going to leave some marks. And tackle. I feel better about the world now. I got to see a douche get tackled. It's like chicken soup for Mo's soul. Letting douches get tackled, especially if they hurt children. I'm kind of all about them getting tackled repeatedly. Additional video shows Carter running across the parking lot and eventually appearing to trip and fall in a yard where two jurors and a detective apprehend him. He had been found guilty after a 3-day trial at Somerset County Superior Courthouse. Sentencing for the aggravated assault conviction is expected in the coming weeks. I know. I need to see him a little roughed up. I know this is terrible and I shouldn't be like this, but I need a little, Gen Pop justice, allegedly, Raja Mahand. This is a joke, so do not take it out on me. I know you own Google, or at least you oversee YouTube. In our final story, hotels reveal the most unusual lost and found items in room service requests. I'm guessing someone was traveling with their lizard and forgot it? Hotels.com reveals some of the most unusual items left behind at partner hotels around the world, including a pet lizard, as well as some of the most bizarre room service requests. The website's annual Hotel Room Insights report, based on data from more than 400 hotels across the globe, reveals that the most common items left behind by guests include phone chargers, dirty laundry, power adapters, makeup, and toiletries. The report says 10% of hotels reported finding dentures left by guests. Some of the most unusual items left behind include a Rolex watch worth $6 million, an Hermes Birkin bag, keys and documents for a luxury car, a car tire, an engagement ring, a tooth, two full leg casts, sacks of cash, a pet lizard, and a chick. Hotels.com said the lizard and the chick were reunited with their owners. The report also detailed some of the most unusual room service requests at hotels, including an Avion-filled tub for a child's bath, a customized allergen menu for a pet, burnt toast, a caviar hot dog, fresh goat milk, 4 pounds of banana, and a high five from a team member to ensure their room service request was read. I Alrighty. Well, if anyone asks, yes, it was my $6 million Rolex. Oh, dear Lord. Well, that is the news this morning, and I will be going over at 10:30. We will start looking at the Susan Morphew case. I am going to be very honest. I did not get into it. There are so many cases, and this is a case that I didn't really dig deep into. So we will be going over the 83-page disbarment letter for the prosecutor first, and then we will start, I'll make a murder board or a blackboard about all the players, and we'll start going over that and going over the documents that they have. But I figured it was good to start with sort of what the prosecutor did and go forward with that, because it is very rare that we see a disbarment actually go through after, a board has looked at it. So that is what we will be doing today. And there's going to be so much. I mean, just the corruption and trying to do oppo research on judges, that is beyond the pale as far as I've ever heard. And like I said, I'm not a legal professional. I am just a mom who likes court stuff. But this looks incredibly shady. And I say we start with that. And then we go back and see where maybe the investigation messed up. Because it seems like a lot of things could have been done better in the initial investigation from what I've just vaguely looked at. I will tell you guys, I am going to be all the petty because I did get some comments that I was sanctimonious during my Sarah Boone thing. And let me just point out for the person who commented that, and I'm not pulling you out. I love the reason I get to sit on my moral mini pony, not my high horse, my moral mini pony, is that Sarah Boone cares more about people making fun of her on the internet than she does about the life she took away. And as someone who's had to tell young children that their father's never coming home, I believe I get to sit on my moral mini horse pony just a bit. Well, I think I was just a little too mean, to be honest. But I do warn people that things are gonna be a petty stream. I try to warn people, but I refuse to give Sarah Boone the respect that a normal human being deserves, because, again, she cares more about people making fun of her on the internet than she does about the life that she took and the father she took away from 2 daughters. So, gonna keep that, mini pony moral horse. But I do understand what you're talking about, and I will try to warn you when I am being full petty queen of the universe. So there you go, guys. Just figured I'd address that. Look, y'all, I am in a mood. I am not gonna lie to you. Someone stealing my package kinda ticked me off, but I did not take Laura Orwins should have a moral snake. Let's be honest, she has no ground to look down upon anyone. Oh, thank you so much, Squid Pro Quo. Have a wonderful day now that I've got all the mean out. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and say one nice thing. Compliment someone. I cannot tell you how awesome it is to see people's faces light up when you say something kind, you compliment their t-shirt. It's a great way of peopling if you are an introvert like me and don't, have the best social skills. So definitely. Definitely, definitely. Thank you so much, Squid Pro Quo. Also, if you have a recommendation with a sock assist thing, I'd be great. But thank you so much. We have a lovely group, and I hope to see you for the Susan Morphew case stream. So have a great day. If I don't see you, make this day great. Bye, guys.